Welcome to this radio channel, and of course we are Monday, July the 30th, and what happens on Mondays, we take a quick look at solar activity for the coming week and how it will affect propagation of the shortwave bands. So of course we are in a very long stretch of no sunspots. Pretty much we are really getting to solar minimum here. Solar flux now pretty much constantly, almost constantly below 70. That means lower frequencies once again to be used, and there's still a lot to be you can listen to. Don't think that solar minimum is necessarily a bad thing. What will probably have an impact this week is coronal holes. So you see there's a major patch of coronal hole here. The darkest areas you see here are areas where the solar wind is actually escaping from the solar disk at a faster rate, and so it might trigger some geomagnetic storms or at least unsettled conditions. If we look at the conditions here on solarham.net, you can see that K-index has relatively stayed at 2 and even most of the time 1 level. So it's rather quiet, which is good because it means that propagation of shortwave should not be too bad. But this will maybe change in the next few days as the solar wind gusts appear. We might get to unsettled conditions at 3 or 4. If we were to reach 5, of course, we would have minor geomagnetic storming, and that would of course affect shortwave propagation quite a lot. But as long as it stays quiet like this, it doesn't mean that the solar wind will actually create any problems. Last week, the solar wind that reached us didn't do too much damage. We stayed at rather quiet conditions, so maybe this is going to happen also. But of course, if you turn on the radio or if you see that propagation is degrading a little bit, then we might be into some of the unsettled conditions from time to time. So it's okay. Just tune the bands, and we hopefully will have more quiet conditions than unsettled. But there could be some effect from the coronal hole. There was an interesting article saying that the coronal holes are more actually happen more at solar minimum and often last longer, which is interesting. And there's a little region you see here. This on the left side of your screen. There's this region of geomagnetic activity, or not geomagnetic, but magnetic activity on the sun. We'll see if that ever does anything, and maybe have a little sunspot appear or something. But let's cross our fingers, because we're really getting into a deep solar minimum now, and that's the conditions that are going to prevail. Of course, lots of sporadic E-skip happening this week. Right now, as I'm actually doing this video, it's 1800 hours UTC, and here in Montreal, I've got 6 meters open. I've got some 50.313 upper sideband, FT8 mode amateurs. So there's sporadic E happening. So listen to the higher frequencies. You never know what can happen, even though solar activity is low. E-skip is another type of phenomena that actually makes propagation possible. And for the rest, of course, most of your listening will probably be on the lower frequencies because of the low solar flux. But check out. You never know when DX will appear. This morning I was checking out. There was a decent signal this morning from KBS World Radio from South Korea to North America on 15575. 13840 Radio New Zealand isn't too bad. 11725 has been great at 0400 for Radio New Zealand. So propagation ain't too bad. There's a lot of signals out there to listen to. Just tune around and see what's on. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.